This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. As most of you know, Kanye West had some type of breakdown in November. I didn't cover it on this channel. I was busy talking about Pizzagate and other things that mattered to me. I wanted to cover it today because it is something I did not cover, but it's important to talk about for this standpoint. MK Ultra mind control is real. It's a CIA operation. Okay, it's been covered up. It's there for the public to see if they want to see it and research it, but people are too dumbed down to care. They think that they're in control of everything. They don't believe mind control is real because they're so prideful. But Kanye West, after his breakdown, had what happens to most of these victims of MK Ultra mind control. When they hit a certain age or when something happens, they can reprogram them and wipe the slate clean. Kanye West is now claiming, or his close friends are claiming, that he suffered severe memory loss from his breakdown. How do they even manage to talk about something like this and people don't research MK Ultra or anything to do with mind control? He just suddenly was talking about Pizzagate and he was ranting about politics, and the next thing you know, he's ushered away to a mental institution and he's got memory loss out of nowhere. You know, what is he, at 40 years old, late 30s? They just suddenly, boom, just like that? No. They brought him there for a reason. His programming was breaking. And if you study the CIA Operation MK Ultra, you'll see that they've done these studies before to erase memory. They've done it on pets before. If you've ever, rats specifically, if you've ever seen, homeless people standing on the corner, guys that are just like ranting out of the top of their head. I'm not saying every single one of them. Obviously, there's just people out there that, might have some problems, but a lot of people out there who are homeless are people who were brought into Project MK Ultra. You're giving them free drugs and LSD and all this stuff in the 50s, 60s, 70s. Okay, they were taking places, they did the experiments on them, then they ship them back out into the real world, and their brains are completely wiped clean. They don't know what's going on. And that's how a lot of these people end up homeless on the streets. They don't even know who they are. And they're ranting and raving about things, and people think they're insane. It's because they've been abused and victims of this. This is our government operating. Mad scientists is what they are, but they're satanic scientists, and they're sick, beyond sick in the head. So let me read some of this article in regards to Kanye West's close friend Malik, who's a longtime friend and collaborator. He discussed the artist's continuing recovery at the Grammy Awards Sunday, revealing that West suffered memory loss during his prolonged period of erratic behavior. I've been to his house, sat down with him for about 6 or 7 hours, just walking through his health and recovery. His memory's coming back. Yeah, his memory's coming back, which is super good, and just healing. Spending time with his family. It says West was hospitalized in Los Angeles later in 2016 for exhaustion after police received a call for help. Don't you see how they always use this? Exhaustion, they use it to, as a cover, so people hear that and they go, oh, memory loss, exhaustion, they've lost their mind, they need to recuperate, because they have to be reprogrammed. How many actors and how many musicians, people who make millions of dollars, all just happen to go through this? They all just happen to be exhausted. They can't plan their schedule. So that they have breaks in between their performances and all this stuff. It's because they're under mind control, and the programming snaps and the programming breaks. So sometimes they have to wipe the slate clean and reprogram them. That's what they did with Britney Spears. Her programming broke. They shipped her out to Vegas. They still wanted to mooch and milk money out of her. And that's what they did. Now she's not in the limelight anymore because she can't be trusted. I'm sure the same thing will happen with Kanye, where he might still be out there, he might still be performing, but he's not going to be as pushed as he was, because I don't think they can trust him. And you could see that he was having, some issues with breakdowns of his speeches and the way he was acting over the years. And they probably feel that he's a risk to them. And you could also see at the Grammys almost the anointing of a new rapper being pushed. This guy, Chance the Rapper. Does it look familiar? Comes into the mainstream all of a sudden, starts praising God like Kanye West did when he arrived. That's part of the deception. They're talking about Satan for starters when they're talking about God, but they deceive people into thinking that they're good Christians, that they're following, God, and they're praising God and they're honoring God. Same with Beyonce. And that's how they deceive people, and that's how they get people to turn against the truth of what's really going on in this world, because they trust in these people. They're naive to think that they would be occultists or Satanists or anything along those lines. Now, we've seen MK Ultra hinted at in so many different movies where they wipe the slate clean. Total Recall, they do that. I know Men in Black, they have the weapon to wipe the brain clean or wipe the slate clean. This is all testing that's been going on since the 50s. I mean, we're, way past 1950 now. We're in 2017. So think about how much more sophisticated this MK Ultra has gotten. Of course, they pretend like they don't do it anymore. Everything that they're doing revolves around it. MK Ultra is an ultimate tool for them because they create slaves. They create walking zombies to do their bidding for them. And they do MK Ultra in a way on us through the television set. It's not to the level that these guys go through because they go through trauma-based mind control. Now, I know everybody feels really bad for Kanye, but keep in mind, a lot of these people are prostituted into the business at a young age. These Mickey Mouse kids like Britney Spears, they don't really have a choice at a young age. Their parents put them into it. Kanye West made sacrifices and wanted this and made this choice. And this is what he's getting. He's getting what happens when these people make that choice. Shia LaBeouf, another kid who was prostituted into Disney and had his breakdown. There's many articles you can read out there that openly admit, scientists, or whatever you want to call these people, but sickos really, who talk about how you can wipe out memories at will through using certain drugs like LSD, certain testing, trauma. I mean, here's an article right here. We do not condone animal testing, especially this type where the animals are subjected to negative emotions. I did, however, find it important to write about given the fact that trauma-induced mind control experiments are happening to human beings on a daily basis. We've seen this with programs such as MK Ultra that I will elaborate on further in this article. This is why I wanted to bring awareness to the study, to bring more awareness on programs like MK Ultra. Researchers have discovered how to erase and then restore the lost memory in genetically modified rats with a single flash of light. Okay, does that sound familiar? That's like the Men in Black, like I just mentioned. The study was conducted by researchers from the University of California in San Diego and published in the journal Nature. This is the very first piece of public evidence that strengthening or weakening connections between neurons in the brain can influence particular memories. So this stuff is out there, and it's sick that people are actually testing this, and like, this is okay. Funding is, at the University of California is going to this, and nobody's like, people homeless, starving, and dying, but we're giving, we're testing this stuff on rats because why? Why do you think? Because we're the rats now. I mean, we're the rats in the cage, really. We're in the maze, right? They're the ones who are doing all this stuff. They're doing testing on us all the time with the chemtrails and the poisons in our food. Goes on to say scientists observed chemical changes that are indicative of synaptic strengthening. They also demonstrated the ability to weaken their circuitry by stimulating the same nerves with a memory-erasing low-frequency train of optical pulses. After this, the rats subsequently no longer responded to the original nerve stimulation with fear, suggesting the pain association memory had been erased. This is trauma-based mind control. They can inflict pain on people. They could do sexual acts on these people. All sorts of tests, even ranging from something like locking someone in a room all night and blasting music to testing how that worked. This is the stuff that they've done to people. They've taken human beings as guinea pigs, especially during, whatever they call the hippie era, okay, where they would hand drugs out to people. They were the ones spreading the LSD out to the public. Our government was. Why do you think they were doing it? They were testing it on the masses as well as testing it behind closed doors and seeing what they could induce from the LSD. If they can wipe people's brains clean, if being on LSD was helpful to the control of the MK Ultra, to creating the splits and all that stuff. And it's still going on. It says scientists discovered they could reactivate lost memory by restimulating the same nerves with a memory-forming high-frequency train of optical pulses. It's like Clockwork Orange. Have you ever seen Clockwork Orange, right? They're telling you in that what's going on. Right? He's tied up to the chair watching TV. They're holding his eyes completely open. This is what is going on. So MK Ultra and trauma-based mind control, which is a CIA operation, which, let me read just a few more things about it. The United States government even issued a national apology for the program while Bill Clinton was in office, but there's a lot of evidence to suggest that programs like this continue to this day. Most programs within the military-industrial complex have zero oversight by Congress. Although the program began in the 50s, it was not until the 70s when the Freedom of Information Act uncovered thousands of documents that shed light on MK Ultra. So MK Ultra is out there. It's been out there. And all you have to see are these breakdowns. And it's constant in this industry, the music and acting industry, the entertainment industry, these quote unquote exhaustion that they go through. It's a reprogramming period. Kanye snapped and he lost it. And they had to reprogram him. That's what they're doing to him. That's why he's out of the spotlight. But it's probably highly unlikely that he comes back into the spotlight. And keep in mind, he's hanging around the most dangerous witches there possibly could be out in Los Angeles, the Kardashian clan, who are black magic occultists, who are Armenian Satanists. and extremely high-ranking witches. So what this news that came out, during the Grammys from a close friend of Kanye reveals to everyone is what a lot of people have been saying, that his breakdown, it was MK Ultra. Because this is the common theme that we see in the entertainment industry. And this just proves it, because his friend is even saying that he had memory loss. He suffered memory loss because they wiped him clean. We saw him with Donald Trump. He looked like a zombie, right? He met with Donald Trump. Looked like a complete zombie, just standing there, not acting like he would normally act because they wiped the slate clean. So we'll see, but I would highly doubt that he gets pushed back through the mainstream after this breakdown that he's had. But people need to research MK Ultra. They need to realize that mind control is real. And we see it all the time in our society because a lot of these people on television are under it. And a lot of these young kids that come through the system are put under it at a young age through trauma-induced mind control, through sexual acts and torture. It's sick, but it's real. Remember, the brain is like a computer pad, especially when you're young and you're just gaining information from the things around you. They can manipulate a child, and that's why one of the reasons they focus on children so much is they practically, abuse them sexually and mentally and create these sex slaves for themselves because the abuse. These children don't even know what's going on. That's all that they know in this world. They get taken away from learning about God and all this stuff, and they become slaves to these elites. So mind control is real. Kanye West, is pretty clear that they wiped the slate clean, which the government's been able to do for quite some time. They hint at it in all these movies, like I said before. No surprise there. Unbelievable, though, how people don't want to research this stuff when you can actually see that the CIA has been operating and doing this stuff, and people still call us crazy conspiracy theorists, right? Why are they doing it? Oh, for fun? Your tax money's going to it, by the way. Do you care about it now? I mean, it's unbelievable. It really, really is. All this stuff is in plain sight. All the evidence is there for you to look for yourself. But people are too prideful and dumbed down, and they don't want to. And it's really sad to see. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.